said Nick Sirianni, a name less known in Philly at the time, hiring Andy Reid.
I got you, though. Nick Sirianni, though, a top 5 or 6 all-time right now.
Yeah.
But it's only been 4 seasons. But
I think he's top 6.
I mean, he's sitting there in the top 6.
Oh, yeah.
Which is ridiculous.
But think about how it started. Nobody knew who it was. And, oh, by the way, not only did you beat those coaches if they win on Sunday, how about Brady, Mahomes, and Bart Starr?
Wow.
Like, think about that for a second. The Eagles would be taking down Titans. It has not been an easy road for the Eagles to get their Super Bowls.
That's amazing. It's
cool.
Absolutely cool.
Pretty cool. So I appreciate that email. All right, we'll get into the Eagles and how they could try to stop Patrick Mahomes or at least slow him down in a second. But last segment we were talking about
DiCecco has the answer to that.
Yeah, he'd be a defensive coordinator.
You really want to listen to that.
Here was Nick Sirianni yesterday about going up against a Steve Spagnuolo-led defense.
Yeah, obviously no matter who's responsible for protection calls against the Steve Spagnuolo defense, it creates issues and challenges. At the end of the day, with a defense like the one we're playing with the great players that they have, and I just can't say enough about their coaching staff and the players that they have. I have the utmost respect for them, and obviously they've been doing this at a very high level, at the best level in the NFL for multiple years now. But I think what's important in those moments against teams like that is you have to play your rules. You have to be ready to adjust, and you have to be on the same page. Now, that's easier said than done. They make it challenging for you. But this is what you prepare for in training camp. This is what you prepare for during OTAs, meaning you play your rules and you adjust to the different things that are coming at you. And when you're good on offense, my experience has been is when you're good on offense, you watch the tape, you get ready for the tape, but you got to expect the unexpected. And that's the definition of his defense, of the confusion that he creates. So we'll have to be on it. We've had a good week and a half of preparation so far. We got to finish that off to give us an opportunity to be successful against him.
He's had such a great a great run of answers.
He's been outstanding.
Yeah, but what is it? Like, what is it?
He's just more comfortable, and he's learned and grown and evolved as a head coach, just like we all grow and evolve in our respective jobs.
I'm waiting to see that out of both of you.
We can say the same about you, but that's either here nor there. But now he has had a remarkable stretch of press conferences, not giving too much, not becoming overly emotional, and I just think he conveys confidence every time he speaks.
I do wonder, John, we always talk about how he got sent to the principal's office after the Cleveland
Cleveland game, right?
We always talk about it like he went into the principal's office and was just told stop doing it. What if it was I love you, man, but I need you to tone it down a little bit. It could have been like a reassuring, hey, you're our coach.
That's what you think it was?
It could. I don't know. I wasn't in the office
after the meltdown of screaming at fans and getting into that on the field.
Do you think Laurie just yelled and screamed at him?
No, but I think it was more of the lines of get your head out of your collective backside and act like an adult.
But maybe they then added you're our coach. We want you to be here. We want you to succeed. We're not looking to move on from you. And maybe he got some sort of reassurance from ownership. I don't know.
I think at that point, after all they put up with last year, and then they brought him back against the majority, if you say 51% of the fan base, I think that it was probably much more stern. Much less put an arm around him and go, Nick, we're going to give you another shot. I think it was more as, oh, my gosh, would you just stop?
I've said it on this program before, but I think coming off that Browns game was the turning point in the season. When the Eagles go up to MetLife, they win 28-3. Saquon Barkley has a field day, but that was the fork in the road, right? Because they could have went either way.
It was.
They could, knowing that the talk that whole week was about his antics. It was about everything other than them winning the Cleveland game coming off the bye week. And the Eagles go and they take it to the New York Giants. I think that right there spoke to his temperature in the locker room and how his message was relating to his players.
I think, too, that video that came from the mic'd up in that game when he went over to Saquon, and Saquon had a chance to set the record, you saw the connection between him and Saquon Barkley. That was really, really good.
Yeah.
Great answer from Saquon. But, to say, hey, let the other kids in.
No, absolutely.
But I think it reflected well on both of them.
They sure did,
point.
yeah.
So there's Nick Sirianni talking about Spags. And, look, obviously Steve Spagnuolo deserves all the respect in the world, but, hey, we got a pretty good defensive coordinator on our end with Vic Fangio. So here's Andy Reid talking about Vic Fangio and what it's like going up against his defense, and then we'll talk about what the Eagles defense can try to do to stop or slow down the Chiefs offense led by Patrick Mahomes?
Facing Vic Fangio, we've faced him at Denver, Miami, and the Eagles in the same year. I feel like we've gone against each other a lot for a lot of years here, and we're fortunate to have Steve Spagnuolo, but I tell you that Vic is one of those guys. He's just one of those real creative defensive minds that survived a long time in this league. He's been time-tested, and he has the trust of his players.
All right, so you said, Andrew, that if you're the Eagles offense, you'd run the ball and try to expose the middle of the field against the Chiefs defense.
Mm-hmm.
What can the Eagles defense do to try to slow down as best as possible the Kansas City offense led by Patrick Mahomes?
Well, they're going to have to double Travis Kelce. And I think, and we talked about this, Cooper DeJean is going to be, in my opinion, the most critical player on the Eagles defense.
Wow.
Because when you look at the success rate that they had targeting Oren Burks last year, that's on tape. They put that out there. I also don't think that Reed Blankenship can do it by himself. I think you're going to see an amalgam of players try to tackle that assignment.
That's a good word. That is a
amalgam.
great word that you're dropping on us this morning.
But that's why I think that Cooper DeJean is best equipped to do it without having to devote multiple players. So, long story short, I think that their best opportunity to slow down that attack is to muddy up the middle of the field and make sure that they're making tackles in open space, but also accounting for Travis Kelce and his ability to really threaten the mid-range throws.
They're going to try to, at some point, I would figure, try to go after some of the youngsters on this Eagles. And you're talking about Cooper DeJean. What about Quinyon Mitchell? You think they're just looking at the tape and saying, this kid's been too good. We're not going to worry about trying to test him early in a big game?
I wouldn't be surprised if he sort of is assigned to tackle the Xavier Worthy assignment, because I think if you're the Kansas City Chiefs, their objective is going to be to isolate Xavier Worthy on Slay.
Right.
They're going to try and test him and see where he's at from a long speed perspective. Yeah. And I think that this is where Quinyon Mitchell is going to come up really big. And look, Xavier Worthy has not really threatened vertically despite having otherworldly speed. He's been more of their gadget type of guy, more of their mid-range player. But I think in this game, they're going to try it deep because, look, unscattered looks, this is what they're going to try and do. But I think Quinyon Mitchell will have that assignment.
All right, I know we have texts coming in. We'll get to those next. If you have any questions for Andrew DiCecco, you can text them in now at 610-632-0975.
Address them to Andrew, the football guy.
Yeah, the football guy, Andrew DiCecco.
Just to differentiate between these two.
So if you have any questions for him, send them in now. And, of course, if you just want to continue to add to our topics today, you can as well at 610-632-0975. So we'll get questions for Andrew. He's got one more segment with us. Don't forget, Adam Schefter is going to be joining us coming up at 7:55. We got today's headlines with Connor Thomas around 8:15. So plenty in store.
Hey guys, how's everybody doing? Andrew DiCecco here, Birds Insider for 97.5 The Fanatic. Be sure to check out all of our content on social media at Andrew DiCecco on X. We'll have all the sights and sounds from New Orleans, and make sure you hit that subscribe button on the YouTube channel.